Hey guys, it's Hunter. Welcome back to another Q&A. You got Q's, I got A's, so let's just get right into it. What pedals are you using right now? My pedal board is really simple. In the effects loop, I have a Boss CE2 chorus pedal, which is the best chorus pedal ever, a Behringer VD400 analog delay, which gets the job done, but I really should upgrade, and an ISP decimator gate. Then in front of the guitar, I have a TC Electronics Ditto looper, which I use for amp and pedal demos, an ISP decimator, Boss tuner, Digitech drop pedal, which is great for writing. Sometimes you need the lower notes or you want to see how a riff sounds in a lower tuning, and my favorite overdrive pedal of all time, an Ibanez TS9. Sometimes I break out the Dunlop Original Crybaby, but not that often. Question: when switching between your amp heads with your single cabinet, do you simply reach around the rear and swap in the speaker cable to each head, or do you have a better system? Nope, that's exactly how I switch it right now. I go behind the amps and I plug in the speaker cable to whichever amp head that I want to use. It's a really bad system because if I forget to switch the cable and I turn the wrong amp on by accident, things can get really ugly really quickly, and I really should look into better amp switching solutions, but I really don't know anything about it. Do you guys have any suggestions? Hey, what happened to your Bugera? I did answer your comments, but I wanted to answer it here as well before I get too many more questions about it. The 6262 that I owned was a great amp. I never had any major problems with it. What ended up happening is I picked up a proper PV6505 Plus, and so the Bugera just never got played. Rather than just having it sit in my closet, I decided to sell it to someone who would actually use it. It didn't blow up or anything, if that's what some of you were thinking. 6505 or dual rectifier? Dual rectifier, all day dual rectifier, but only if I've got a tube screamer. Without one, it gets real flabby in the low end. I just got a 6505 Plus. I like it a lot in a mix. It sounds phenomenal, but the dual rectifier is my favorite tone ever. Meister Deluxe 40 soon? Yes, I would love to make that happen for you guys. Hughes and Kettner amps are awesome. The Meister Deluxes are kind of difficult to get in the States right now, but it's definitely on the to-do list. The Meister Deluxe was amazing, and I want to demo as much H&K stuff as I physically can. Couple of questions. Is Hunter your actual name or just a nickname? What do you think feels better, an ESP Eclipse or the new high-end Chapman ML2? Will you be demoing any Chapman guitars in the future? Oh boy. Okay. 1. Hunter is my actual name. 2. ESP Eclipse I've been playing for years, whereas the Chapman I only briefly got to pick up, so I couldn't give a fair assessment just yet. 3. I would love to demo some Chapman stuff. Hell, I would demo the crap out of all the Chapman stuff. I did get to talk to Matt from Chapman at NAMM and told him about the channel. He seemed interested in getting American YouTubers on board to grow Chapman's presence in the US, so that is a good sign. We didn't really talk about sub count though, which may cause some problems. I mean, companies love to see those high sub counts, and between Rob and Rabia, they have all the subscribers. So if you've got any friends that are interested in guitar, show them the channel, show them the videos. The higher that sub count is, the more likely I can work something out with manufacturers, including Chapman, which would be great. Do you have any interest in the Mark Morton Jackson Dominion? Interest from me? Yes, but I gotta be honest, you're only about the 3rd or 4th person to request that guitar, so it's not super high priority. It'll definitely get done eventually, I just don't know when. Are you a fan of Ramsrine? I'm guessing this is a typo. I'm kind of indifferent towards Rammstein. Liked them a lot in middle school. They're still in my iTunes, but I don't really go out of my way to listen to any of their songs. Demo an ESP Alexi? That sounds like a command, and I'm not really sure I like that. But the pink sawtooth guitars from Edwards look pretty cool if they still make them. I have a request. Can you do a comparison video between an ESP and LTD Kirk Hammett model? I'm curious how much different they sound. That will probably not happen, and let me explain why. When it comes to getting a lot of these videos, I have a great relationship with Sam Ash. That being said, they still need a deposit for the full value amount of the guitar, which is refunded when they get the instrument back. I'm not gonna lie guys, I'm not super rich. I don't have the cash lying around to do that for 2 guitars at the same time, one of which is a real full-blown expensive ESP signature model. I will tell you that sound-wise they probably sound pretty much identical. I mean, same shape, same EMGs. The biggest difference I've found between ESPs and LTDs isn't the sound, but the feel. High-end LTDs feel like quality guitars, and usually ESPs are even a step above that, and that's really what you're paying for. Which pickups do you prefer, EMGs or Buddhas, and why? It's a pretty difficult thing to say whether I like EMGs or Buddhas because that's a pretty broad brush. I mean, there are pickups that I like and there are pickups that I really don't from each company. I love the punch and clarity I get even with massive amounts of gain from EMGs, and I love how with the Buddhas you have complete creative control to match your guitar and playing style. I guess if I had to choose my current favorite set of pickups, it would be the Buddha Sharkbite set and my Epiphone G400, but it really depends what mood I'm in. Basically, I'm saying I love them both. Will you start a band with me? What's your favorite color? Wanna go get some pizza? Can we be friends? Smiley face. No, black. The answer to pizza is always yes and absolutely not. Ibanez guitars. Thoughts? Just realized for a metal player you don't own or play one. Would love to see you demo/hear your thoughts on positive grid bias. I picked up a proper RG for the first time at NAMM this year, and they are not for me. The fingerboard is stupidly flat. Not a fan, not at all. I think Ibanez do have a Les Paul type guitar, but it doesn't seem like anything special. I don't really have a lot of interest in it. I do think the Broken Mirror Paul Stanley guitars look kind of cool, but they're like $7,000. I do need to pick up some bias software at some point. I think the concept is really cool, and software like that is the future, but I haven't tried any of it for myself yet. Home studio tour? A few of you guys have been asking about this, and honestly, I don't know how interesting it would be. My studio is basically this side of my bedroom that you guys can already see in every video, but it might be cool to go through all the different gear and everything. If nothing else, it might be fun to do one every year, kind of document the channel's growth, if it does grow. If you want to see something like that, like a rig rundown or a studio tour, let me know in the comments. What's your dream guitar? And when writing riffs, do you first think of them in your head and then play them, or it just comes while jamming? My dream guitar would basically be a neck-through Eclipse with a sand-blasted ash top, which basically looks like this. I wouldn't have red, I would have something like blue, Goto hardware, and the new Willie Adler Fishman Fluence pickup set. I haven't played them yet, but they look so cool. As for your second question, my approach to writing is kind of weird. I kind of just ignore notes at first. I think of a groove or I get a rhythm in my head and then I try to plug notes in that fit. So it's much more of a rhythmic approach than a musical approach, if that makes sense. And I'm not recommending that over any other approach to writing. That's just what works and feels natural to me. If anything, I wouldn't recommend it. It makes me a really bad person to jam guitar with because I know what rhythm I want, but notes are a complete mystery. So that's it for this Q&A. If I missed your question, I am really sorry. There were a lot of questions this time around, so I might start doing a video once every 2 weeks instead of once every month. We'll see. Anyways, you know the drill. If you've got questions for the next one, you can leave them in the comments, message me through Facebook, or tweet them at me. Speaking of Twitter, last time around, I mentioned I might start doing Twitter polls. That way you guys can vote on what gear should be featured in upcoming demos. Sometime this week, I'll be posting the first one as kind of a test run, see if I get a good response. So if you want to get involved, make sure to follow me so you see when it goes up and you can vote. A link to my Twitter is in the description. As always, thanks so much for watching. You've been awesome, and I'll see you for the next video.